What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon NBA DFS video for night 2 of the NBA. So we are back. We are excited. We're doing a lot of things. So if you've never been here before, first off, welcome. Hopefully you learn something. Hopefully we break it down just a little bit different than maybe you're used to. On top of that, after this video is over, if you click the link in the description of the video, that is today's article, you can check it out. So anytime we have at least 5 games, what we do is we take our projections. At each position, we give you 3 top tier plays at each position with their projections. We give you 3 mid and 3 value plays at each position. So we check that out, and then at the bottom of the article, we check that out and we show you the value plays. So just for instance, this is yesterday's opening night with NBA. So this, click the link below in the description and you'll find today's article. This is yesterday's. So we have this, we have the breakdown, everything. Then we go by position. So obviously with only 2 games, it was really, you couldn't do 3 top, 3 mid, 3 value. So we just did 5 at each position and our projections out there. Now these, it's a little bit easier to do this than with baseball or football because you know Steph Curry's going to play 30 minutes plus or something like that. You can kind of project out the fantasy points. Obviously, you're not going to be projecting out a 70 burger with a triple-double and stuff like that. But these are a baseline projection that we start with. You can check out the website, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, and you can find more. But you kind of look through here. We check out our plays down here. And then at the bottom, we'll do value plays. Just depends. Probably 3 top, 3 overall, 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 lower tier value plays, and the value we have, which you can find over on our projection. So this is yesterday's article, but you can find a bunch of stuff. We got NBA DFS minutes played. This is a new thing. So I kind of wanted to show this, but it wasn't finished for yesterday's video. So I wanted to kind of show you what we have. Obviously we have, or that's the wrong thing. Hold on a second. Let me bring it up real quick. So this is obviously with, oh, you can't see it. This is with data from last year, clearly. But what we have is every single team. So it's kind of like our matchup tool that we have for NFL. And you can check this out. Again, if you go to the bottom on this page and you click right here, it'll allow you to open it up in a full screen, and then you can mess with it. You can look around it and kind of see. But it is on the website there. So these are obviously every player on the depth chart for the team. Their last 5 games, obviously the games are from last year, so some of the data is not going to be, it's the data we have going into the first. I'd say probably wait. It's going to be, you know, to be more accurate, probably about a month's worth of data. Then we'll kind of really figure out who's averaging what, you know, minutes per game. That's huge. How many minutes they played per game. Last 3, last 5, last 10, all, and then their last 5 games. So those, it's kind of breaking it down. It's every single team in alphabetical order. So you can go down, if you've got a certain amount of teams you want to look at, you can go through and check that out. The ones without anything here are, they didn't play any minutes. But yeah, so you can see the Lakers had a ton of people on their depth chart. So you go through. This is a big key. Probably wait about a month to be able to actually utilize this and feel confident about it. But this is just another tool we give you, part of FTA Plus. So, and again, you can open it up and bring it all the way down. So that is huge for us. We have the points allowed on the website. We have the Vegas odds. We have the player projections, our chalk plays. So obviously if you play cash, you can kind of see where the ownership percentages are for the chalk, where those are going to be good plays to go, because if you know the chalk, you know where to go in a cash game. If you know the chalk for GPP, then you can pivot to another play. So we've got that there. And then we have our NBA bets as well. It really just depends on the slate, the bets that we would feel confident about there. So all of that is part of, like, half of these, like, this is premium or free content. Fantasy points allowed by position, free content. Vegas odds, free content. Then the rest of it is part of the premium content. So 2 ways to get there. FTA Plus, and you can sign up a month or a year or a lifetime pass. Or if any of our videos get at least 50 likes, you leave a comment and you are a subscriber, you have a chance to be chosen on our every single day, the random comment picker. So anytime a video gets 100 likes and you leave a comment, you have a chance to get picked up by this algorithm here, and you have a chance to win a free month. 125 likes, a chance to win a free year, and any video of ours that gets 150 likes, you have a chance to win a lifetime pass. So yesterday's video got 61 likes. We had 20 unique comments. So leave comments, get yourself there. We're going to see who the winner is. You can win every single day. If you've been with us before, you know that. Yeah. So, Paul Bucher, using statistics from last year's teams is completely useless, dude. Yes, I completely understand that. That's all we've got going right now. We're not really going to look at the preseason. Those numbers don't really mean anything. We've only got probably the first couple of weeks. You kind of got to go with the stud players, and then you kind of got to go with the depth charts to kind of see who played a little bit in the preseason, who was getting the focus. Obviously, LeBron's not going to play much, if at all, because we know he's going to go out there and play. He's also 75 years old. So, Paul Bucher, if you are here, congratulations, you are the winner. 2 ways to hit me up. Let me know on here that you saw this, and then either email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, with a username and email you would like on the website. We'll get you set up for that free week. Or you can hit us up on Twitter @advisors_team. Either the best way would be to DM me and I will see it. So username and email that you would like on our website. So that being said, come back tomorrow, come back the next day, come back the next day. We have a lot to offer you, and you can win every single day. Obviously, if you have a lifetime pass, you can't win. You can't get 2 lifetimes. But another way to do it, we have a year pass, normally $199. If you use the promo code Thursday, all one word, all capital letters, you will get the yearly pass, normally $199 for $75. So that being said, we do have games here. We're going to look at them. I believe we have 12 games on this slate. We've got out here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so we have 12. So and the making of this video, these are the Vegas odds. You definitely could see, but we'll go over it real quick. So Knicks at the Celtics. You've got the Knicks as a 3.5, or Boston as 3.5 point favorite, over under of 224.5. You've got Hornets at the Hawks, Atlanta 3-point favorite, 235. So you want to target these higher over under games. You got Pacers at the Wizards. Pacers are actually 7.5 point favorite right now. Over under 234.5. Magic at the Rockets. Orlando's a 4-point favorite, 221.5. You've got Raptors at Timberwolves, 223 over under, with Minnesota being a 1-point favorite. We've got the Nets at the Cavaliers, -2.5 for Cleveland. Cavaliers over under here, 220.5. We've got Heat at Pistons. Miami's actually a 9-point favorite. Obviously, they were a really good team last year. Over under is 220.5. You got Grizzlies at Pelicans. Memphis is a 1-point favorite as of right now, 227.5 over under. We've got the Bulls at Thunder, over under 228.5, with Chicago being a 1-point favorite. So a lot of these games, obviously, we don't have a ton to go off of, not a ton of injuries, no real data, but to feel confident about it. So Vegas is kind of putting some of these games really close, and if it stays true to Vegas, we could get some shootouts here. Got the Jazz at the Kings. Sacramento is only 1.5 point favorite, has a 237.5 over under. Spurs at Mavericks. Mavs are a 4-point favorite with a 227.5 over under. And the Clippers at the Trailblazers. Trailblazers 9.5 point underdogs here, 227.5 over under. So you want to focus, obviously. If you want to break it down a little bit, you could take the games that have the highest over-unders, and on our Vegas odds, right here on the Vegas odds, you can sort it, and then that's kind of how you can build out your player pool as well. But just kind of looking into this, we'll just break it down position by position. Depending on what we got going on, these are the stats that are updated. Obviously, these are last year's stats. So, like we've said, and we said in yesterday's video, this is the data we have to go off of. Defenses change, offenses change. People are in better condition, people aren't injured, stuff like that. So just kind of looking, if you want to start thinking that way, you can kind of check it out. This is on the website. Again, like I said, it's free. It's all there. And we're kind of able to break it down a little bit. look at some of the plays. So point guard, the Rockets are were the worst team last year against the opposing point guard. Is it going to be Markelle Fultz last year? And you can see this is the ranking it's going off of from last year. Fultz, he was averaging 30.3 fantasy points per game. 5,700 is his salary. Is it going to be him? Looking at game logs, you can kind of just see he only played the Rockets once last year, didn't do too much. But again, this is last year. Things have changed. Another season in the system. These are kind of like that. Cole Anthony, will we get him in there? Just really depends. 3.9 averages per game, or assists per game, 4.8 rebounds per game. You can kind of see he was averaging 27.1. So it'll really just depend on minutes per game. We had him at 22.4. We had Markelle Fultz here at 29.4. So Fultz, he fits the mold here to a play that you would like. A cheaper option at 5,700, especially on a massive slate like this. That's kind of where we're looking at. So depending on how you build your lineup out there, whether or not you're on Fanduel, whether you're not on DraftKings, using what we have, the data we have, these are the things we can use. Probably you want to get at least, I would say, 2-3 weeks worth of data to actually feel confident about it. Other than that, I would suggest playing light on days like this just to be safe. Now, sports betting is a different beast. You can kind of project out points, kind of project out some other things and go from there. But just kind of looking at it, it's kind of what we feel. So then the Lakers were very, very bad last year. And if you just want to go by the ranking here, we can kind of check that out. But depending on what it is, you've got the Lakers obviously aren't playing here, but they were second. So we go down here and then we look at Sacramento. Is Sacramento going to make any sense to be a play here at the point guard position, as we can see just other things? So I guess just kind of looking and depending. So we've got DraftKings here. We've also got FanDuel, and you can go back and forth, whichever site you're playing on. Obviously, the sites now have, or they have the offensive ranking of the opposing. If you just want to look at like the high-priced guys, all of the plays, we've obviously got Doncic. He's always going to be in there. Has no soreness. Good to go. The questionable is there. We know what we're going to get out of him. Played San Antonio twice last year. Averaged 33.5 minutes per game there. 578 field goal percentage. 7 for 16 3 points made. So just a tick. Just one under 500 there. Was averaging 73.1 fantasy points per game against San Antonio last year. So he's kind of like your Nikola Jokic. You know what you're kind of going to get out of him. A bit like, obviously not much here. Played 13 minutes. Here for 39 minutes, had 55. You know, he's going to be expensive. Yes. He's going to be a stud. Yes, he's got a fantastic matchup. 28th overall defense out of 30 there. Fantastic. 11,000 is going to be steep, though. So that is why you're going to have to find some value plays. So if you look, and we can just look at yesterday's cheat sheet of ours. So just kind of looking, we don't have a ton with, 2 plays, but we've got the plays we like for cash. We got the plays we like for tournaments there. We've got the leverage plays at those positions. Obviously, with being 2 games, there wasn't a lot in there. We've got our boomstick shots, meaning these are plays that we're looking for at least 7 times value. So we had 3 yesterday. We've got we got lineups here for FanDuel and DraftKings. We got positional rankings. We got tiers. We've got it all there. So we do have a lot over there. If you guys have questions, we can try to answer them for you. So that being said, we kind of get back in there. So if you just look at by position, ones that stick out, Doncic at point guard, obviously going to be a high tier play, but he's got a fantastic matchup there. You do have Kyrie Irving, so depending on, he's probably going to be the shooting guard there. Splits wise, played San Antonio twice last year, averaged 39.4, which isn't a lot. At their price, that's where you kind of got the sweet spot's about 6.5 times value. So you would need at least 60.4 fantasy points from him to probably take down a tournament. So being 10,200, I'm probably priced out on Irving there. You've got, just depending, De'Aaron Fox here. Got game logs, playing the minutes, a little cheaper option. You're saving about 3,000. Splits-wise, faced Utah 3 times last year. Averaged 37.2 minutes, so he's getting in the game. Averaged 51.8 fantasy points there. So if you look at that, 8,700 times without just, I need to have it. I'm going to make a chart is what I'm going to make. So he averaged about six times his value there against this opposing team. So in a good matchup. Now, a lot of things are going to break down to pace of play, and we're going to have a lot of that information. It's not available yet. The first beginning of the season is kind of where you got to get your feet wet. You got to figure out your place playing NBA DFS. So I do like De'Aaron Fox. I think he is questionable, but he just didn't play. Yeah, he had the night off. He should be good to go. Everyone, the big names should all be good to go for opening night for them anyway. So he jumps out to me. Jordan Poole, just depending if he's going to play, if he's going to get in there minutes-wise, that's what we don't know. Played Indiana twice last year, 32.3 minutes per game, averaged 35.5, so right about 5 fantasy points there. So the pricing's a little bit, kind of feels steep for some of these guys. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So we'll just move to shooting guard. So shooting guard, again, I like how there's different utility where we can use players at each position in different positions. It does make it a little bit harder. I remember when I first started DFS, they were only point guard. They were only shooting guard. They didn't have multiple positions. So it does make it a little bit harder when you're building through there. But then you can go through and you can find the value here. And again, that is why the article will hopefully break it down a little bit more with information, with value, with the other players as well. So this is just like the tip of the iceberg. Would you guys rather us go through the breakdown like this, or would you rather us just do a video with our the three top plays, mid plays, and value plays at each position? Would that make it easier for you? It wouldn't be broken down like our MLB where it's 45-minute video. It'd be a condensed video, probably a little bit easier to listen to. But hopefully that is something that, if that is what you would like to see, let us know. We will definitely do that for you. So another one with shooting guard, Zach LaVine. He was ill, the flu probably. Coming in versus OKC, 2 games played, 41.1 minutes per game. So he's playing the whole game, averaging 41.1, which is what we need out of him. So he makes a good option for me. So I do like Zach LaVine a lot here. So moving on to small forward, the big guys, you got Kawhi Leonard, as long as he's going to play and he's not hurt. No injury report. He just didn't play. Splits-wise, Portland last year averaged 34.2 minutes per game, 459 field goal percentage, 17 of 37, 5 of 15 three-pointers made, only averaged 41.9 fantasy points per game. So it really just depends how you want to break it down, whether or not you want to go with the opposing positional rank. You could see that Gordon Hayward for small forward, he's got, he's almost right there. He's a cheaper option going up against a team that was really bad against a small forward. Played Atlanta 4 times last year, averaged 29.4 minutes per game, averaged 31.9 fantasy points per game, which would be what we're looking for with this price here. Obviously, you're not going to be able to afford an entire lineup of everyone getting 6 times value. You're going to have to find those dart plays. You're going to have to find those 7 to 8 times value plays, which we will have on the cheat sheet every day. That's the problem when you're building your lineups out like this. So if we just kind of look at that, Paul George, questionable. Leonard, questionable. Richardson, questionable. There's a lot of people with questionable tags because they didn't play their final preseason games, which kind of messes with you when you're trying to build your lineups. Unless you dig in and you look at Paul George and you look at him and said George will rest during Thursday's preseason game. That's what I'm talking about. So they're just resting. They've still got these, and maybe by the time you watch this video, the questionable tag is gone. I don't know. Will depend on when you watch it. So that being said, we can kind of move to power forward. Excuse me. So you want to look at the big guys. You got Jason Tatum. Then you come here and you see that the Celtics are 3.5-point favorite, over under of 22.4.5. So should be a close game, should be a higher scoring game. You can come here, you can see that Boston, Jason Tatum, just looking at this, his last 3 games he was averaging 42.3 minutes per game. Last 5, 40.4. Last 10, 41. So it was going up. He's going to be playing. That's why he's expensive. You should get in there. You got this game here against the Knicks. He played 4 games against them last year, averaged 41.2 minutes per game there, averaged 53.1 fantasy points. He is expensive. That's not really hitting the value. But again, these are just projections. So there will be differences. Not everyone's going to just do 5 times. You can see, and you can compare that with the what we've got on the website. You can compare it with the projections we have there. You can compare it with, I guess, anything else you have. And I'm going to have a chart built out to show everyone's salary, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times value, and it'll be just a chart so you can see what they cost and what projection you need. So there's a lot of people that like to build their own projections out. A lot of people are visual. They like charts. I've got you. So not only are we working on NBA, we're working on NFL. MMA and PGA are both off this week. NASCAR's got a couple of weeks left, but the big thing obviously is NFL when we build it out there. So that being said, if you've got questions, I'd love to hear them. Zion, hopefully he comes in, he's conditioned better. He's not fat. He's not overweight. He isn't hurt. Like, as of now, he's kind of been a bust for the NBA. His rookie cards were going huge a few years ago, and he really hasn't done much. And if you look at here, maybe people are going to be playing him for his name. Averaged 29.1 minutes per game against Memphis last year. 28 fantasy points per game was it. That's all he was averaging against them there. 17 points per game there. Yeah, it's going to be tough for some of these guys. Then you got Victor. Everyone's going to want to play him. You kind of just look. We've got no data to go off of. He's already 8,500. He's number 1 in the draft. We get this. He's got a semi-decent matchup, 22nd ranked. Dallas at 8,500. It really just depends on the players you can fit in there. So you're always going to have, basically, to take down a GPP or get in the top 10, you're going to need kind of a stars and scrub mindset when you're going in there. Yeah, you can have 1 or 2 of the big guys. Then you got to get those mid-value plays. Then you got to get, those dart plays that we have projected, or you have projected 7 to 8 times value to really, and they have to obviously hit it to really feel confident about the plays you're putting in there. That being said, you've got Tatum I would feel confident with, especially in this matchup here. Kawhi I'm looking at, either small forward or power forward. It really just depends. Victor in his first game, maybe he's got those first game rookie numbers and they pop. We could look at that. And then it just depends. You got to find those value plays. You got PJ Washington. Going to be a power forward or center. We can look at that. Splits-wise versus Atlanta, 3 games last year, averaged 31.4 minutes per game, 21 for 35, 600 field goal percentage, 19 real points per game, 32.8 fantasy points per game, which at his price is a perfect number for. So you could just throw PJ Washington in there, either power forward or center. Really just depends on what you're looking at. Then we've got the center position here. You got a ton of players here that have multi-eligibility here, which is perfect and sometimes can screw with you. So just kind of looking, if you want to see who's got the best matchups here, Clint Capella against Charlotte. We can look, and if you want to look at the points allowed by position, we can go here. Largest, Charlotte gave up an average of 59.2 fantasy points per game to the opposing centers last year. So Charlotte, that would be Capella here. And you kind of look at this. His averages, played 3 games against them last year. Only averaged 25.2 minutes, though, and 32.8 fantasy points. But if he could average more minutes, if he plays more minutes per game here, at 6,000, he's in a smash spot here at 6,000. you can throw them in there and just do whatever you want. Kind of look at that. Then if you kind of want to go here and you want to see that Indiana Pacers gave up 58.5 fantasy points per game on DraftKings to the opposing centers last year. So that was the Pacers. Then you can kind of come here. You can see it's Washington. Is it going to be Daniel Gafford? Like looking at this. Yeah, so last year he averaged 9 points a game, 5.6 rebounds, 1.3 blocks, 1.1 assists. You look at his splits, played Indy 4 times last year. The problem is he wasn't playing deep into games. Like 19.4 minutes per game is not enough, averaging 20.4. This is where points allowed by position can help, but it also could help you get off of somebody here, because then we look at it and we see that Gafford's, not averaging very many minutes a game. Then we kind of split it up, go to a different one. So then maybe you go to the Spurs. So you come down to the Spurs. Come over here. That's Dallas. Now it's the center position. Depending on who's going to be the center, is it going to be Maxi Kleber? Is he going to get in there? This is the problem with, if you just look at the depth charts, you've got Raquan Holmes, Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell, Markieff Morris, all are there with this center designation that you feel confident about. Maybe it's Lively. Maybe he gets in there. Secondary role on offense. So it really just depends on the depth charts that are going to come out. If you follow basketball, look at depth charts to kind of feel confident about who's going to be center number 1, who's going to be center number 2. And then you can build out your plays, your projections, a whole lot of things you can play off there. So that being said, do you like this kind of breakdown, or do you guys want the article where we go over the plays, or we go over the Vegas odds, we look at that, then we give you top 3, top mid, and top 3 value picks at each position from the article? So would love to know your guys' thoughts, what you guys are looking for when you're building your lineups, when you're trying to research for NBA. We catered to you. We made the MLB videos what you guys wanted them. So I started making videos, and then I asked you what you guys would like to see. You kept commenting, emailing, tweeting at us. You kept telling us what kind of things you would like to see in those videos, and we catered and we built that out. So at the beginning of the MLB season, we didn't have this many tabs. We didn't have batter splits. We didn't have stolen base targets. We didn't have BVP, ballpark ratings, umpire factors. What are you guys looking for in these NBA videos? I want to make them for you. I want to cater the videos to you guys. So do you want more breakdowns? Do you want stats, minutes? What are you looking for when you're building, when you're trying to research? You come to us first. Hit the like button. Hit the bell notification so you know when our videos go live, or when we go live, so we can build out for you. So that being said, that's what I've got in this video, kind of breaking it down a little bit. If you want the plays, you want our projections out there, a few of them. Obviously, we're not going to give all of our projections, but we can do the top, mid, and value plays at each position if that's something you guys are interested in. So that's what I've got in this video. Any questions, get them down below. Get your comment in there to try to win a free week, month, year, or lifetime pass, or FTA Plus right here. Click on the yearly pass. Use the promo code Thursday, all one word, all capital letters. Get a $199 yearly pass for only $75 while supplies last. So that's what I've got in this video. Good luck today. Let's bring up some bacon.